ASPX Object Container Control allows media files to be embedded on a web page. The supported media files include flash animations, images, and different types of audio and video. In this demo, you'll learn how to use the ASPX Object Container Control to first display a YouTube video as well as a QuickTime panorama file. So let's take a look. I'll start with a new ASP.NET application. From the toolbox, I'll drag and drop a new ASPX Object Container Control onto the page. In the Properties panel, I'll set its Object URL property to a direct YouTube video URL that I've copied to the clipboard earlier. Notice that the container now displays a big X, indicating that it's unable to automatically detect the type of the media file. We'll need to specify the media type manually. To do this, I set Object Properties to Flash. Upon doing that, you can see that I'm now able to further customize the container for this media type. Allow Script Access enables the control to perform outbound scripting within a Flash SWF file. This is necessary since I'm trying to display a YouTube video. The Play property specifies whether the Flash movie begins playing immediately when the page is loaded in the browser. In our case, the actual YouTube video will not play immediately, but this property will enable the SWF object to be displayed. Furthermore, I can specify the plugin version required for the media, the playback quality, and how the Flash object is placed in the browser window. Finally, the window mode property is set to none, so that the player is displayed as a regular object on the page. Next, I manually specify the width and height of the control. I run the application to see the results. You can see that the YouTube video player has been embedded onto the page. I click on play, and the video is played back on my page. I have access to all the normal available functions. I can move the progress bar or change the volume. I close the application and return to Visual Studio. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? Let's take it a step further and see how the control works with a non-video file. I'll add a new ASP.NET web form to the project. From the toolbox, I'll drag and drop a new ASPX object container onto the page. I've already copied a QuickTime MOV file to the website's files directory. Note that this is a QuickTime panorama file and not a video file. I set the container's object URL property to the MOV file. You'll notice that the media type is automatically detected and displayed within the bounds of the container control. For object properties, I'll manually specify QuickTime so that I can see the advanced properties and customization options. The autoplay property specifies whether a QuickTime object will begin playback automatically. The controller property, as the name implies, sets whether the movie controls are displayed within the player. The field of view and pan angle properties are used for QuickTime VR movies, which is what we're using right now. We'll modify the values of these properties later. Plug-in version sets the minimum required version of the QuickTime player for the media, and finally, tilt angle specifies the tilt angle for a QuickTime VR movie. I set the width and height of the control. And run the application to see it in action. You can see the QuickTime player load and display the VR movie I specified earlier. I can zoom in, zoom out, and look around New York's Times Square. Now, let's see how the VR properties can be customized. I close the web browser and return to Visual Studio. I select the container control and expand its object properties. I'll set the field of view to 60, the pan angle to 20, and the tilt angle to 15. And that's it. I run the application again. You can clearly see that the view of Times Square has changed. This becomes more visible as I move around and zoom out of the image. For a detailed list of all the supported formats and media types, please refer to the documentation by clicking on the link below. Thanks for watching, and thank you for choosing DevExpress.